What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So in this video, I just want to talk about the recent news that was announced about the television show The Bachelor having its first black male lead. And I when I heard this story released in the media, they framed it as that, like, oh, the first black male lead. Um, but come to find out that he's actually biracial, part black, part white. And I found this out pretty much through another YouTube video that was speaking on the topic. I just assumed that he was black. Kind of just based on the way that he looks, and as well he was presented as that. Off first glance, I'm like, okay. um, but it looks like diversity is now on trend. you know, and folks are just riding the diversity train for now and cashing in, and you know just pretty much capitalizing off the trend right now, right? And as I mentioned, the black male lead is actually biracial, and he has a white mom. Shocker, right? Biracial with a white mom. And when it comes to black looking biracials, they can be especially very thirsty for white acceptance and white validation and just adjacency to whiteness, you know. And like, do we really need that right now? Do we really need something like that right now? And in fact, really, I really don't even think black people really asked for this right now, except for perhaps one in particular who I will get into a little bit later in this video. But yeah, I don't really think black people asked for this. But nevertheless, this seems to be happening. So let's discuss it a little bit. All right. And as well, this does low key kind of make white people feel comfortable as far as like perhaps having someone who is a bachelor who would be thirsty for white acceptance, white validation, and adjacency to whiteness, you know. But interestingly enough, the first black female lead on The Bachelorette was actually black, not biracial. And you know how they love to throw a biracial woman in the place of a black woman, So I did find that a bit interesting. I'm like, oh, that's a little funny there, because usually it's the other way around, right? Usually it's the other way around, but this time it wasn't like that. Interesting, right? But I get the vibe that he strongly identifies with his white side, which, is his right. We all have a right to identify with what we want to identify with. But really, I'm not even sure if homie even got black friends though, based on what I've been seeing. He probably could, maybe, but yeah, very much, white leaning. Perhaps a little sprinkle of here and there, maybe like an Asian person, maybe a really light skinned Latino or something like that, you know. And, based on all this and more, and as well, homie, kind of perhaps seems a bit more on the, educated lame side of the coin, the corny side of the coin, you know, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being corny, in some ways at least. Sometimes it can be like, oh, ha 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 ha, ha, that's so cute, But then some like, it's a bit much. It just depends on how corny the person is and how they express their corniness, right? But I don't think he's going to be checking for the sisters, especially the sisters out here you know, who are highly melanated and educated and very elated. I don't really think he's gonna be checking for them sisters, or I'm not even sure even like sisters at all. So again, like, what is this really gonna do for black folk? you know, especially black women. Like, what this really gonna do? You know, again, the season hasn't aired. I don't even think it's been filmed yet, actually. Um, but I could see it playing out like that. I think a lot of us can see it playing out like that, right? You know, and oddly enough, at best, I kind of think that he will. At best, he may, check for and choose like his female equivalent, right? Which could work if he chooses like you know, a, a brown skin woman who could pass for being like a monoracial black woman, or I guess a biracial black woman who could pass for being a monoracial black woman. That could maybe work, I guess, perhaps. But then again, when that stuff happens, people be quick to point out, when say like a biracial girl wins or is winning in the media, and black women try to ride the wave, then folks be real quick to point out, oh, she biracial, she ain't black like you, right? So then again, maybe it won't work out like that, or won't work out, you know. Even though the same niggas who pointed out be like, oh, we all black. Oh, stop being so divisive. Black folks, black women come in so many different shades and colors and varieties. Ooh, baby, baby. The shade of a black woman. The shades of black woman, baby. 50 shades of black women. And you know how that's pushed in the black community, right? Um, but the first black female lead on The Bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay, she didn't choose a brother, right? From what I heard, she chose a dude who was Cuban. He probably was definitely on like the wider side of the Cuban spectrum, versus like, say, the Afro-Latino, Afro-Cuban type thing. But you know how that goes sometimes where, black men especially do this when it's like, oh, she Latina. She ain't white. She Hispanic, right? Because, she may got a little bit of seasoning on her, right? They probably put a little seasoning in that mayo and, stirred it up a little bit and got ranch dressing, right? And now they trying to act like it ain't mayo. But ranch dressing, ultimately is mayo. It's just, mayo with some seasoning in it, right? And I ain't saying, nothing wrong with a little seasoning in your mayo. Ranch dressing, many of folk like a ranch dressing, but I'm just calling it out and just saying it like it is. That's all. So if you like your ranch, you like your meal with a little seasoning and stir it up to make it a ranch dressing, you go ahead. All right. But let's just call it what it is, though. That's all. All right. But nevertheless, Rachel Lindsay, she did choose a non-black man, as her ultimate pick, right? But nevertheless, still, she did play a part in this happening for Matt James. I think I forgot to mention his name as well in the beginning. But yeah, um, the new bachelor's name is Matt James, right? So Lindsay had posted um, something to the effect of saying like, oh, she's going to cut ties with The Bachelor unless they make real strides toward diversity, and released a statement acknowledging systemic racism in the franchise, and all that good stuff. So I think she released a statement at one point or another, perhaps, and she was threatening to cut ties with them, right? Sisters always supporting, right? Sisters always want to, come through and support, right? But still, have to deal with the bullshit. Still have to prove their loyalty to the Black Kings, right? Now, Black Kings. We are loyal queens, Black King. Please, 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 please. Don't you go. No, 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 no. Don't you go over to the snow. No, 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 no. Come and stay over here with this nice chocolate rain. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So, I don't know if Lindsay was really on that per se, but nevertheless, she did speak up and, kind of put herself on the line in a sense, you know. Um, so good for her. I don't think anyone's really going to, give her any props for it, though. They'll still consider her to be a bedwench. But nevertheless, kudos for her for being able to say something like that, right? All right. But back to Matt James, he's very safe for white people. Biracial people with white mamas, especially, are, very compromised, you know. And I think, especially for like prime time television, on one of the big four networks, it very much has to be, quote unquote, safe, right? He very much has to be that. So, y'all know Matt James gonna stay on code, not black people code, his white people code. He gonna stay on code, so he ain't gonna, even if you know Rebecca and Karen come through and be racist and say some foul shit, maybe towards like the couple of black female contestants that are there. Maybe say some foul shit about I don't usually date black guys. But I just decided to date them, try this out a little bit and see how this goes. I don't think they're gonna be calling this out and having no real deep conversations about race and interracial dating. Nothing really substantial. I don't really think coming out of this. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying I just don't really see that happening. I'm not even sure if this is going to be good for Swirl World. Swirltopia. I don't even think this is going to really work for Swirltopia either. You know, um, I don't. Yeah, I just yeah. But will his actions, right? Will Matt James's actions reflect on black men as a collective? You know, and if he is negative in his actions, then the black male collective would be like, oh, he's biracial, and that'll probably work. As far as distancing himself or themselves from that. And as well, they can't use the single mama excuse because it's mama white, so they can't do that. They're not going to use the absentee father excuse because that would implicate them. They may use white supremacy, but usually, if he was like a full, monoracial black man, then they would use like the single mama excuse, the white man holding him down, the white man keeping a brother down. Goddamn, the white man don't brainwash your brother. Goddamn. And a lot of other excuses, right? But mainly those are the two main excuses that kind of like the go-to excuses, right? Um, so that may end up happening. But if Matt were a biracial woman, then would her actions reflect on black women as a collective? Like, say, Doja Cat or Cardi B or Nicki Minaj, you know? Then all of a sudden, oh, the black woman is to blame for all these biracial women being wild ass um, mixed chicks on the loose, right? Being crazy ass, problematic mixed women on the loose. Uh, But will this work for their white audience though? Because the Bachelors and the Bachelorette, I guess the Bachelor in this case, it has like a large white following, especially white women. So will this work for the white audience, especially the women? You know, and I think Perhaps, some white people may tune in for fetish purposes, you know, white women, so they can, perhaps see and, live vicariously and, fulfill their, mandingo BBC nigga fantasies, perhaps. you know, Karen and Rebecca, Jaquan, why don't you use those big black mandingo nigger lips to suck my pussy like you do them watermelon slices? God damn it. Then eat my booty like a bucket of extra crispy fried chicken, Jaquan. And then he's gonna be like, well, my name's Matt, not Jaquan. And then she's gonna be like, your name is whatever the hell I say it is, nigger. Don't make me call the cops and get you shot. Oh, you don't think I'll do it, do you? Oh, 911. Hello, this is Karen. Hello, my name's Karen. Hi, Karen. This is man Matt. Oh, well, I thought my name was Jaquan. Shut up, nigger. But yes, I'm going to report. Yes, he's saying some really, really sexual things. This black man named Matt, he's saying really sexual things to me. He's saying he wants to, suck my you-know-what, with his big black nigger lips. And it's making me very uncomfortable right now. Please. I'm really feeling uncomfortable. Please, can someone please come here? I don't know if I'm going to be saying, no. Right, and then she's going to do that. And that's a part of the fantasy, too, Get a nigga shot, get niggas lynched. That's a part of these, slave-esque fantasies as well that a lot of folks don't want to really acknowledge. And as well, even in these, police brutality protests, you've seen some photos of white women floating around like, oh, black cocks matter. I only open my mouth for black cocks. BBC matters. Leave my nigger dick alone. Signs like that. And, as well, I seen one photo of a woman showing up to a protest with an adult novelty toy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Colored black in the shape of a penis. And I'm like, oh. And it's the thing is though, black men and maybe even some black women, oh, ha, 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 he, very much just, taking it as compliments and whatnot. But the thing is, though, with that, it's well, we're protesting a really serious issue. Police brutality is a really serious issue here. Has taken the lives of a lot of black people, especially, black men, but also black women as well. And I just don't think that right now, sexual perversion is what should be a part of the police brutality protests right now. Low key, that undermines and trivializes the issue. And as well, it sort of even takes attention away from the issue. And then we are now talking about, you being inappropriate, sexually inappropriate, at a, police brutality protest. But folks don't want to connect those dots. All right. So yeah, that's how that's how the white women may come across when they're watching this, okay, maybe, right? And then, there's some white men who will probably come through and watch too, because, some of these white men be having BBC Black Bull cuckold fantasies for some reason, So it's hey, Taekwon. Or well, hey, Taekwon, how you doing? Come over here and fuck my wife with your big black nigger cock. While I watch and film it while my wife tells me how sexually inadequate I am compared to you. And says how much she loves choking on big black nigger cock. God damn it. Well, then, my name's Matt, not Taekwon. Your name is whatever the hell I say your name is, boy. Now shut up and lick my wife, nigger lips. And then when you're done, get back to dribbling that ball, boy. So, ultimately, this, quote unquote diversity ain't really gonna do shit. This ain't gonna really do shit. It'll be kind of maybe entertaining, maybe a bit here and there. Some black folks may watch it. Perhaps maybe there may be some sisters on there. Maybe I ain't getting my hopes up and I ain't holding my breath. You know, but it's all smoke and mirrors, really, and theater. Again, right now, this whole diversity thing right now, I'm just writing it off as being like pretty much just smoke and mirrors and theater. Folks are just acting, saying what you want to hear, very much ally theater right now, you know. And as well, people have expressed this sort of sentiment for a while as far as like having more diversity on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. But, now it happens. Now it happens, right? And that's the thing. It's just like folks are just, these like people, like non-black people and businesses are pretty much just following trends. The trend right now. Right now, the trend, what's on the trend is diversity and being, anti-racist. And, folks are very much in need of some finances and some money because, the economy has been taking a hit due to the, current public health crisis at hand. And folks got to find a way to make some money. So, if they got to hop on the diversity train to get a couple of bucks and to secure the bag, then that's probably what they're going to do, you know. You know, and again, all of this is on purpose as well. All of this is kind of like low-key calculated. Like, for instance, they ain't going to cast a dude like Rick Ross, the boss, as the first black bachelor. They ain't going to do that. They ain't going to come through and let, Rick Ross, the boss, come through on The Bachelor. All right. Or even, dudes like Rick Ross, the boss, are like Lloyd Banks, you know, and I'm not saying that, they have to, and I'm not saying that necessarily those dudes would be the best look for black men, but I'm just saying, like, they kind of gonna make sure that things work out in a way that works out in their favor, right? So they're gonna make sure that the white woman is still seen as like the standard and, put on the pedestal to be aspiring to, you know. And as well, she's going to be a white woman who does not have a body, like, a black woman, quote unquote. She's going to be a white woman who is relatable to the average white woman, right? And they may sprinkle a little seasoning here and there of like, Asian women or like Latinas, you know, quote unquote Latinas, right? And they may even sprinkle a little bit of seasoning of like black women. They probably will be on the lighter side and the racially ambiguous side as well, right? And, as well, this isn't going to help the image of black people at all, especially black women. And it probably would just end up perpetuating the stereotype of black women being undesirable, which a lot of people, even some black men, love that stereotype and love to throw that stereotype in black women's face, So ultimately, it's much ado about nothing. Nada. All right. So that's all I got to say for the moment. Let me know what you think about all of this stuff here. Let me know in the comments section. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.